everyone. I'm going to read a story. The story is called Pete the Cat and His 4 Groovy Buttons. But before I read the story, I want you to meet Pete the Cat. Hi, Pete. Look, it's Pete the Cat. Say hi, Pete. Hi, Fiona. What have you got, Pete? Pete's got a book. Pete, say hi to the kids. Hi, kids. Pete, show us your tail. Look at his long curly tail. Meow. Pete, can I count your buttons? Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, 4 buttons. Pete's got 4 groovy buttons. This one looks a bit loose. What happens if I just pull? Boop! Oh no! Sorry, Pete. It's okay. Now I've got 1, 2, 3 groovy buttons. Good job, Pete. Pete, why don't you sit over here while I read the story? There you go, Pete. Let's read the story. Pete the Cat and His 4 Groovy Buttons. Pete the Cat and His 4 Groovy Buttons. Look at all those buttons. Pete the Cat put on his favourite shirt with 4 big, colourful, round, groovy buttons. He loved his buttons so much, he sang this song. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 4 groovy buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pop! Oh no! One of the buttons popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 3. 1, 2, 3. Did Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 3 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 2. Did Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. My buttons, my 2 groovy buttons. Pop! Oh no! Another button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 1. Did Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. He kept on singing his song. My button, my 1 groovy button. My button, my 1 groovy button. Pop! Oh no! The last button popped off and rolled away. How many buttons are left? 0. There's no buttons left. Did Pete cry? Goodness no. Buttons come and buttons go. Pete looked down at his buttonless shirt, and what do you think he saw? His belly button. There it is. And he kept on singing his song. My button, still have my belly button. My button, still have my belly button. There it is. I guess it simply goes to show that stuff will come and stuff will go. But do we cry? Goodness no. We keep on singing. Buttons come and buttons go. There's Pete with no more buttons on his shirt. And that's the end of the story. Did you like the story, Pete? Yep. I think he liked it. Yep. Pete, can you show the kids what's under your yellow shirt? Okay. You want me to open it? Yep. Let's open up Pete's shirt. Oh, Pete, he's got a red heart and a white belly button. Yeah, belly button. Do you love your belly button, Pete? Yeah. Do you want to sing us a song about your belly button? Yep, just like the story. Okay, sing. My button, I love my belly button. My button, I love my belly button. Yay! Good job, Pete. Bye, kids. Bye. Bye, Pete. I've got another story about Pete the cat. You can help me with this one. Pete the cat and his 4 groovy buttons. We need some buttons. Look, a yellow shirt. Put on 1 button. Let's get a button. 1. Put on 2 buttons. 1, 2. Put on 3 buttons. 1, 2, 3. Put on 4 buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the end. See you next time.